everybody. This is the Master Chief coming to you from 10,000 feet in the Colorado Rockies. So today we're going to talk about the Filbe. Filbe stands for Family of Improved Load-Bearing Equipment. It's a U.S. Marine Corps system. It has some similarity, some difference in the Army ACU, which we covered before in a previous episode. There are some advantages, disadvantages. When you get into large rucksacks and load-bearing equipment, it's really personal preference and what you're going to use them for. As we get into it, we'll show you some of the things that are different with the USMC version versus the Army version. But for right now, we'll just cover the basic components, and then we'll cover loading, very similar that we did with the ACU segment. So to get right into it, when you get the Filbe, there are many components like the ACU. So you've got the cummerbund or waist pad or whatever you want to call it. This supports the weight right in the lower back. We've got the actual frame. This is the rigid frame that allows you to carry a lot of weight on your back without crushing yourself. You got the shoulder harness system, and then you got the main pack system. Those are all part of the main system of the Filbe. And then, of course, like the Army system, we have external bags that we can load for go packs. We've got the first aid kit or IFAC. These here are compression straps for the bottom we'll get into when we get loaded. And then just an all-purpose bag that you can put, zipper pouch that you can put kind of anywhere. This is waterproof. You'll notice it does have a waterproof zipper and it is waterproof inside, so really good piece of gear. But we'll get this thing assembled and then talk about loading and how to carry it. All right, the first thing we need to do is we need to affix the frame to the shoulder harness assembly. If you notice a lot of straps right here, it's the best to just kind of lay these out. Notice in these bottom ones that they actually do go through the keepers before we put this together. You got your harnesses on top. This is where we start connecting everything. Pay attention to where all these are, that they're out of the way, and then we'll start by putting it on. So first thing you want to do is make sure that all of your keepers come up through their respective slots. So these kind of pop up through here. If you do this ahead of time, it'll just make it kind of easier to get them all sorted. When you start putting the straps through, we start feeding the straps through and tightening them up. So here we got our first two here, and then usually if you flip them across, they'll kind of stay in place. And then we're going to get into these two that'll come up through here, but we can do those afterwards and feed those up. So you want to kind of look at them like this, see how they all come through their holes here. But first thing to do is get these middle two up, slide these straps up through their keeper holes, and then just loosely buckle them. Don't go too tight, just get them started. That'll give us some room to maneuver around once we get everything hooked up. You want to leave all of them loose until everything's hooked up. Then you can go ahead and tighten, cinching everything down to pull the backpack pad to the frame assembly. So we'll just keep on going here, get these all started. Very loose, like so. We already pulled this one up. So these two from the bottom are going to slide up and through those. Got those started. And they'll last through here. Get this one started. So now if you notice this, it's pulling from all different directions, and you want to tighten them in the order that you get them started in. So if you notice, we got across here, we got down here, and then we're going to pull these. We'll go over to the center like so. Okay, now we've got everything kind of hooked up. We're going to go ahead and cinch things down. We're going to start with the ones we started with in the beginning, which are these two right here. So we'll start getting those fed through and getting them tightened up. Keep those nice and snug. A lot of times if you pull the underside tight, hold it with your thumb, then you can reach in and pull the rest. Grab that tab, pull that the rest of the way through. That keeps it nice and snug. Do the same thing on this side. We'll back it off if it doesn't get tight enough. Go ahead and back it off. Give yourself some slack that you can pull. Go ahead and pull with your fingers. Hold it with your thumb right there. Reach under, grab those tight. There they are. For long term, you may want to slide a piece of tape under these with some keepers, but that's entirely up to you. And then we'll just go in order for the next ones. Next ones are right here. Again, you want to get these nice and tight. Notice how I'm holding tension with my little pinkies down here, because then once I get it going, then I can pull it, pinch that with my finger, reach in, pull the slack through. Same with the other side. Go ahead and get us some slack. We'll pull our slack through, hold it with our finger, right there, and then pull the slack through. Now we're up to the last two. Notice how this is nice and firm on here now. We can do the same thing, pull our slack, nice and snug, hold it with our thumb, and the same on this side. Pull that nice and tight, hold it with our thumb. And now we have our harness assembly attached to our pad. You can go ahead and run these back through if you want to. You can tape them up, or you can just leave them out. Then you can stuff them in back into here, just so they're out of the way. And that's attaching. You'll notice now we've got good heavy harness system ready to go on our harness. All right, the next step is to attach our hip pad or waistband or whatever you want to call it. Notice it has a very thick lumbar support right here, right for the center of your back, center back, lower back. Notice there's ties that go cross-directional for lateral support and everything. So to get this attached, we'll just lay this down, kind of keep these center ones out of the way. First two are going to come through over around. You're going to get them through this here. Again, we're going to leave these a little loose, so when we tighten everything down, it gets all tightened at the same time. This pigtail right here, you want to slide back through. This is going to become important to grab onto when we want to tighten it all up. So it gets a little janky here, but you can figure it out. You got to get underneath to get it done. Again, like I said, we're gonna leave these all loose. Feed that one through. All right, now one side's done, ready to go. Tighten them up just a little bit, and then we'll go to the other side, just like we did the first. Takes a little practice, but you'll get it. Set that through so we can cinch it down. Oops, and there it did the wrong one. It happens, just keep it lateral. These will actually come into play here when we continue. So we'll try this again. Practice, practice, practice. Practice doesn't make perfect, perfect practice makes perfect. All right, get that one through. All right, we get a good start. We're pretty close. Okay, so now if you'll notice, we have this strap right here from the top. It's centered over this hole. So just like when we did the top half of it, this will come through. Notice how this pulls that lumbar support straight up. So we'll go ahead and attach that. Again, we're going to leave this loose until we get everything hooked up. All right, and then we got our mid pad that goes across the center. All right, now it's time to start tightening these up. You want to start with the inside out on these. So we want to get that centered. We want to get vertical first, as we did before. Remember, we pinched that, we pulled that down. Now this one you don't want to pull super tight because you don't want to fold the pad underneath, but you want it pretty snug. We'll hold it with our finger, pull the slack through. And we'll go to our next cross support. Go ahead and pull that tight. Hold it with our finger, and pull the slack through. Now you can stuff these in here once they're done, however you want to do it, whatever makes sense. You can roll them back, tape them, whatever you prefer. For now, I'll just stick them under here so they're out of our way. All right, now we want to do the lateral supports here. If you notice, we kept these a little bit loose, so we'll go ahead and pull them tight. And now our waist pad is attached to. Now that we got our pack all assembled, we're going to go ahead and look at some things that are the same, different, things I like, don't like about the Filbe versus ACU or versus some of the other rucksacks that are out there. One thing that I really like about this bag, very similar to the ACU, but this one has a wider mouth on the bottom where the bottom compartment will zip open quite a bit further than the ACU or some of the other ones. If you notice right here, you can close off this bottom compartment, which is really nice. You have this zipper on the bottom here, and we'll just go ahead and get this closed. This is if you're using your bottom compartment for overnight gear, sleeping bag, tent, etc. Now that isolates the bottom from the top, and then we can also, once we get anything in here, we can cinch this down before we zip it back up, which is kind of nice because as you get big and bulk in here, you can see how that will support the bottom of the bag before we're all zipped back up. So we'll just go ahead and leave that zipped up. We'll go ahead and shut our main lower compartment. Notice a couple nice little stuff sack pouches, water bottles on either side. A lot of pack space in this one. You could put a water bottle, any kind of canteen or any kind of small sack It does have enclosures in it to cinch it down, and it does have drain holes. So we'll go ahead and snap up the back, the bottom of it. All right, and then we'll go look in the top. So in the top there is an inner compartment. I'll try to fold this back. Small bag here where you, with a latch on top. It's got a lateral cinch strap as well as a load-bearing cinch strap for the top, so you can close it in, hold it all together. This lateral one keeps small things in the top. You can see down on the bottom the top of our compartment that we just closed. And then, like all rucksacks, it's got the enclosure on the outside as well as the top flap. When we look at the top flap, it does have a zipper compartment here. You can use for maps, toiletries, whatever you want to do. Just be careful putting too much stuff into this. As it flops over, everything can spill out. And then, of course, we have ready access to the main compartment through a waterproof zipper that can get down into it, get into that top pouch that we looked at before, and then get into there. The other thing I really like about the Filbe over some of the other ones, it does have this pouch on the side that goes all the way through with compression straps here and here inside your Filbe. This is really good for hunters. Put tripods, spotting scopes, anything like that. Also, if you'll notice that it's positioned right above these compression bottoms that we talked about earlier that can be used. So that can hold the bottom of your tripod, shooting sticks, spotting scope, tent poles, you name it. That is one thing I do really like about this pack, and it has it on both sides. Also, you can tell there's no shortage of MOLLE. I mean, you could put 100 different pouches on this. We'll put a couple on it when we pack it. We'll use a couple of the smaller pouches that can either go on the side or on the back, however you want to pack it. We got our small utility bag, and then of course our IFAK. All right, everybody, now that we've got all loaded up pretty well, we're probably at about 90 pounds in this pack right now, maybe 80. So we'll just kind of go through what we got. Remember, we talked about with the access into our main pouch right here, which is kind of nice on this pack. Carrying handle, I did attach the small pouch to the top. In here, I've just simply got a hat. It's cold up here at nights. Inside my hat, I got rolled up a candle. And then also my wind meter and my weather system. So I keep that in this top where I can get at it. This is a separated container, so you can keep other things in there. But that's what I just chose. And this is just an example of how I would pack. And I'll just kind of set things aside as I download them. If we flip it over to the other side, in these pouches over here, I've got my fuel. So fuel for my stove. Of course, you can go campfire if you want, but with a whisper light that I use, it kind of gets nice to cook some of my mountain houses and some of my other meals that I take with me. So that's pretty much it on the outside. Until we get to the back, I have attached the two auxiliary pouches. Of course, this is where, because they're already sealed, I like to keep food and, of course, my ice cream sandwich. So I'll keep food in these outside pouches so I can easily access them to eat. Go ahead and take all these out, set these aside. And in this pouch, I carry more food, some snacks, things like that. I also keep in this outside pouch ready to get is my water purification kit. So I carry this with me to make water if I ever have to. So that takes care of those. Now we'll get into the bottom. Again, we talked about it before. This is where I've got my sleeping bag, my bivy cover. Underneath that, I've got some extra clothing. Some clothing I don't need to get at right away, but it's there if I have it, if I need it. And then inside the main compartment, start always at the very top. As soon as you open the pouch is your rain gear. Have that ready to go. As soon as you open the pouch, so that's right at the very top. And then inside, what I chose on this one, and because we covered it in a different segment, if I'm hunting or I want to, just stop for a little bit, maybe bivvy this, cache it, and go on a hike to look for a good hunting position, right at the top, I keep my Camelback loaded, and then inside, survival kit, anything I need in case I get trapped, a little bit of medical gear, so I'll keep that right on top, then I can just blow and go. I also have my IFAK in here, my camp kit, my stove kit to cook, of course, my Whisper Light stove to cook with, the ever needed water, Notice that all this is up on the top end of the pack. That's where you want all your weight to carry. So, got water, and then inside that small pack we were talking about, my chamois towel, which goes with me everywhere. It can be a sunscreen, windscreen, it can be an umbrella, but I always have that with me. Of course, accessible from the top patch if I ever need them. If I ever need to change my socks, I've always got a few pair of good socks right here in the top. And that pretty much goes through everything that's in this pack. Again, this is the Marine Corps version. It's the Filbe, and a very, very good pack. It all depends on what you like and what you're looking for and how much you want to hump and how long you're going to be out in the field for. So, very good pack. If you have any questions, look back through the video, you'll see them. This is the Master Chief from 10,000 feet in Colorado, signing off.